Thank you for joining us at 6. I'm Jessica Porter.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shannon Ogden, and in just a moment, President Biden will give his first primetime address since taking office. And in this address, he'll announce he is directing all states to make every American adult eligible for the vaccine by May 1st.
Once that happens, our newscast will continue on your streaming device and will resume on air once the president is finished speaking. But before that, we first want to get to the latest from meteorologist Mike Nelson on the upcoming storm.
So, Mike, the metro now is under a winter weather warning.
We are indeed, starting Saturday morning and continued until Monday morning. So it's a big weekend storm. And the reason it's backed off about 12 hours is because the storm system is slowing down. It's now located just about on top of Las Vegas. So it's a little over 500 miles away from the Front Range. But with that storm slowing down, that means once it gets here, it's also going to move slower, which gives us more time to have more snow fall Saturday, Sunday, and even into Sunday night. So the areas highlighted in blue remain under winter storm watches. Most of the central, southwest mountains, northeast plains out towards Sterling and Akron, Fort Morgan area. But the winter storm warning has been posted in the pink area now for south central Wyoming, Cheyenne, Fort Collins, Boulder, Greeley, Denver, Castle Rock, all the way down to Colorado Springs. That goes until 6 a.m. Monday morning. Weather conditions along the Front Range, you can see that we already have some rain and snow falling. It's not much. This is not the main storm by any means. Tonight we won't have much of any accumulation. Roads might be a little wet in some places. That is about it. We really have until early Saturday, I'd say daybreak at about the latest, before this thing gets into high gear. And once it does, it's going to snow big time for about 24 hours. So the snow arrives Saturday, heavy snow for the weekend. Travel is going to be very difficult to impossible by late Saturday into Sunday. Several feet of snow expected in the foothills. In the Denver area, it looks like 1 to 2 feet of snow coming up. I'll have all of the snow total forecast for you coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thank you, Mike. March 11th was a strange day for all of us last year. It was the day the World Health Organization officially declared the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic.
And it was also the day the NBA decided to suspend its season. And the day actor Tom Hanks revealed that he and his wife Rita were diagnosed with COVID-19.
It's clear so much has happened in a year, yet there are some signs of hope.
This historic legislation is about rebuilding the backbone of this country and giving people in this nation, working people, middle-class folks, people who built the country, a fighting chance.
Today, President Biden officially signed the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief plan. The bill includes $300 per week in federal unemployment benefits, an expansion of the child tax credit, plus funding for vaccines, schools, and state and local governments. It also has those $1,400 checks for individuals earning up to $75,000 per year. And those checks could hit bank accounts as early as this weekend. That's according to the White House press secretary, who says the Treasury Department is working as quickly as possible to get direct deposit checks out. It still may take a few weeks for those getting checks in the mail. A doctor in Aurora whose medical practice is geared towards helping the underserved is running into a roadblock.
He tried to give COVID-19 vaccines to people living in specific zip codes, but the governor's office told him he couldn't do that.
So he spoke with Denver7's Lance Hernandez.
It will be fast, I promise.
And the reason we do this is because it helps cut out barriers to care.
Dr. P.J. Palmer is operating a vaccine clinic for the underserved in Aurora's refugee and asylee communities, offering them on a walk-in basis.
Okay, all done.
It's the whole idea of health equity where you're giving them a little bit hand up for people who can't make appointments easy. They don't have the phones, they don't have the computers, they don't have the transportation to get to the places on time.
The state says there can't be any barriers to vaccine access. That threw a monkey wrench into Palmer's plans to help the underserved. When others learned he was offering vaccines,
they quickly flooded our clinic, and we were doing, it wasn't underserved medicine anymore, we were doing overserved medicine. That was a month ago. So I said, no, we're going to change that.
He posted a flyer reaching out to residents in the 80010 zip code, one of the poorest in the metro area. Initially, the flyer said that they had to have proof they lived in the zip code.
Okay, you're off the net.
That drew a letter from Rick Palacio at the governor's office saying it's not allowable for you to offer vaccines exclusively to residents of a single zip code, And it's not permissible for your clinic to require that an ID or proof of residency be presented in order to receive a vaccine. The governor's office now saying they may target specific zip codes, but can't require an ID.
Yes, I got a vaccine from here.
This patient received his vaccine at Parmer's clinic and is helping translate for other refugees.
Definitely he makes everyone, whoever come here, getting more comfortable than going other hospitals.
Parmer now starting a vaccination list.
By sticking my neck out there and trying to push this issue of vaccine equity, absolutely, the state may come in and take away the vaccine supply, in which case that would be really sad for this community.
Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
More vaccine clinics are being postponed because of the storm. UC Health, now the latest to close its planned clinic this weekend, so they're going to call everybody who had an appointment and reschedule them. Today, Governor Polis said that he's not really expecting there will be any delays in vaccine shipment due to the storm.
Denver 7 political reporter Megan Lopez was at today's press conference where the governor said it'll be all hands on deck to keep Coloradans safe this weekend.
Get ready, Colorado. It may be sunny today, but come this weekend,
a major snowstorm is on the way.
In preparation, Governor Polis, CDOT, and Colorado State Patrol hosted a press conference to talk about their efforts to keep everyone safe. Part of that includes activating the National Guard.
That'll be about 50 members of the Guard that will be able to assist with search and rescue, including with specialized vehicles.
As always, one of the biggest concerns will be the roads.
That it will be sustained at a fairly heavy rate, potentially about an inch an hour, for a long period of time. So part of what that means is that there will have to be ongoing plow operations.
And since the storm is expected to mostly affect the Front Range, CDOT will be bringing equipment and resources down from the high mountain country to this area to help clear roads. As for COVID vaccines, the governor says he doesn't expect any disruptions in the supply chain since the state already got our vaccine shipment for the week. If you had an appointment affected by the storm,
simply check with your provider. If they have canceled, don't panic. Your vaccine is still there. It'll be scheduled very quickly, and check with them about how quickly they can schedule that.
So get ready, Colorado, because snow is coming.
We hope that you will heed our advice and stay off the roads as all possible.
If this does turn out to be a major storm like we've seen in the past, the city could just shut down. This was I-25 less than 2 years ago when the bomb cyclone stranded drivers who had to abandon their cars on the interstate. That's why rescue crews are getting ready and have heavy military-grade equipment on standby if they need to use it.
With the 2 feet of snow, this is really our best option. We typically have 3 people on here, an officer, and a driver, and then a paramedic in the back.
The Colorado National Guard Snow Response Team can also make rescues as well, but just because the crews are available doesn't mean there are enough to rescue every stranded driver. So be sure to avoid the roads unless it's absolutely necessary.
Well, the city of Denver is working to make sure people without homes have a safe place to go this weekend. There are beds open at existing shelters. Also, the city is opening an additional men's shelter at the St. Charles Rec Center in the Rhino Arts District to make sure there are many people as possible out of the snow.
We are going to suffer the consequences of our inability to respond at scale through the next storm. And if we continue to refuse to respond at scale, we're going to suffer the consequences of that on the storm after that.
And with the snow, with the pandemic still, more Coloradans than ever are in need of food. And that's why Denver7, ARC Thrift Stores, Volunteers of America, and BOK Financial continue the 21st annual Feed Colorado Food Drive. You can drop off non-perishables right now at any of the 30 ARC Thrift Stores on the Front Range or more than a dozen BOK locations. For more information on all of this, go to thedenverchannel.com/feedcolorado.
We are committed to providing you continuous weather coverage for this upcoming storm. You can watch our 24/7 weather stream online and get the latest news on Local 3. This Saturday, we will also have a special newscast at 8 on Local 3. You can find Local 3 on our website or on Channel 3 on your TV.
It's a Denver 7 Weather Action Day with a major storm on the way. We're tracking the storm and keeping you in the know. Stay with Denver 7 for up-to-the-minute weather coverage, road conditions, and snow totals. Tomorrow morning, watch Denver 7.